I let you in. Nah, I ain't doing that shit. The fuck no. Talk to Me is the directorial debut from Danny and Michael Philippou. It follows a group of teenagers who decide to take on a social media trend relating to people getting possessed, essentially, when they grab this really sus ceramic hands and say certain words. And yeah, basically you get possessed when you do these string of things, follow this string of events. And for some of these people, it becomes a little too personal and they get a little too involved and into this spiritual device of sorts. So this movie did actually technically come out in 2022 originally, but it's having its release in the United States this year. And I've been hearing a lot of buzz about it. As I said, it's the film debut for these guys, directorial debut, I should say. A24 is behind this project as well. And I'm very, very impressed right off the bat with the work that this duo has done on this film, it being their first one they directed. I'm aware of their background in the YouTube channel they have, Raka Raka, where they make some horror-related content, but look, I don't care how much experience you have before making a movie like this, it still is quite an impressive jump, no matter where you come from, if you ask me, with what they were able to accomplish. They really put in the work here with regards to a lot of different things. The camera work, having some very appropriate close-ups and wide shots at different moments, tricking the audience at times into thinking a certain thing is happening, but then no, this is actually what's happening here. So just major props here. Very impressive how they directed this movie. Something else I didn't know how I would feel about going into this was the cast, because most of the people involved here are relatively inexperienced, don't have a lot of experience with films and starring in films. But I thought all around they mostly did a very good job here. I like seeing Miranda Otto as well in this movie. She plays the mother of one of the main characters. The entire time I was thinking, where have I seen her from? I recognize her. She looks so familiar. Lord of the Rings, she's in that movie. And so it was cool seeing her, like 20 years later. I thought she did a great job. She does play a kind of unlikable character at times. I think no matter what your age is, if you're around the age of, a parental guardian, or if you're younger, there are times where it's like, dude, I think you're a little offline here. But then, by the end of the film, you really do start to sympathize with her a little bit and understand why she was so overprotective at times. Sophie Wilde plays the main character of Mia in this film, and I thought she did a great job as well. There's a good balance between her character of confidence and insecurity. We learn a good amount of her past and things that have happened in her past and affected the way that she carries herself today. I thought she did a really good job of portraying that confidence barrier that sometimes people will develop to cover up their traumatic past. And I won't say the actor's name in case people are perhaps watching this review before going to see the film. I don't want to give away who it is, but there's a particular actor here that at first I really didn't think was doing that good of a job, and I was kind of ready to shit on this performance here. But this actor immediately made me eat my words and ended up giving also one of the stand-up performances in the film. So is this movie scary? Because obviously that's something that people are going to be wondering with it being a horror movie or labeled as a horror movie. Is the movie scary? Is it frightening? In my opinion, yeah. I think it is pretty scary at times. I think a big thing that helps with the scares here are the visuals and what they're able to accomplish on not a very big budget here with the makeup and the prosthetics to create some of these beings that appear. But the movie does not depend on the scariness of it. It's not carried by the scares throughout the entire 90-minute runtime, because the characters here, in my opinion, are so great and so well written. At times, there's one specific moment where I was thinking, like, this is just so relatable, and this does just feel like something that would happen in real life, because there are moments, several moments, where characters just start pointing fingers and start blaming each other for this and that. And that is something that just happens a lot in real life, and it's something that frustrates me personally. I don't know why people always have to play the blame game and try to make sure it's known that like this happened because you did this or because you said this. It's honestly something that does kind of upset me, but it happens a lot in real life, and so I thought they portrayed that really realistically. These young people, these teenagers, going through these horrible things that happen. The movie does also do a really good job at a certain point of letting us know that like this isn't funny anymore, because in the beginning when they're initially trying out this thing that has become a trend on social media, it's funny to them, they're all laughing, they all get a big kick out of it, but then at a certain point shit really hits the fan quickly and it's just like, no, it's not funny anymore. Like, fuck this, we gotta get rid of this, we gotta put a stop to this. I'm glad they did that, because at a certain point I was like worried that it was just always going to be a funny thing to them and they wouldn't learn anything from it, and I just would have disliked the characters a lot more, honestly, if that happens. Although there could have been something said or something to say about the delusion that some of these characters would be living through. There could have been some sort of message to take out of that, but I'm glad they didn't go that route and ended up having the characters be more smart and then react in a smart way to these horrific events. That does lead me, though, to one minor complaint I had at times with this movie, which is characters sometimes making dumb decisions or lack thereof in the film. That is a trope that is very common with horror. Even with great horror movies, sometimes characters are just a little bit dumb, and I think that is the case here. In particular, in some scenes when characters are kind of just not doing anything and just sitting and watching this awful thing taking place, and it's like you should probably do something about it, or at least put in the effort to solve this awful situation in some way. And something else that kind of bothered me about the film was that a character at a certain point goes into a particular state and kind of stays in this form of conscious for a good majority of the film, and things kind of just start to get magically better for them, and we're led to believe that this is actually happening to this person and that this is why they are the way that they are, but then things kind of just all of a sudden get better, and it's a little rushed, honestly. I kind of wish there was more development as to why this person automatically got better out of nowhere. It felt a little lazy to me. I honestly loved Talk to Me, though. Really glad that I saw it. I'm glad when I see any movie. As I've sort of mentioned in the past, I always just like seeing movies no matter how I feel about them when I walk out, but it's an even more rewarding experience for me when a movie is this good, and this was just an awesome film in my opinion. I think it's one of the best horror movies of this year, and I would give it a 9.5 out of 10. The ending is amazing as well. It really had me thinking a lot, just the entire drive home, just deep in thought about how the movie concluded. Really looking forward to what Danny and Michael do in the future as well. I know they have another project coming out hopefully soon. Hasn't been announced when it will come out, but I look forward to that, and other things that these actors are involved with as well, because I really liked their work too. If you've seen Talk to Me, please let me know how you felt about it, or if you haven't seen it, I really do recommend seeing it. It's honestly making bank right now, which is great to see a somewhat low-budget horror film getting this kind of attention. I think it's awesome, and I think it's deserved. And yeah, that's all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you next time. Or in my next video, whatever. Peace out.